everybody, how's it going? Ryan with Rigs of Death Metal here with you again. Today we're going to be talking about my custom shop Shiva from WKM Guitars. Let's hear it. Okay, you've got to hear this thing in the mix. We'll talk about it a little bit and let you hear, little raw sound samples. So you guys have probably, if you've watched any of our videos before, you've definitely already seen this guitar. And I believe on our Instagram, I even did a live stream talking about it, playing a little bit, answering questions. But I wanted to do a dedicated video and finally have the time to do so. Full disclosure, I did pay for this, but I got a pretty good discount. I think which I'll go over the specs, but a build of this spec would probably run you about $1,500-$1,600. Let me see. I did of course, this is again Kyle's Shiva body style. It's a very metal looking Super Strat. All Hipshot hardware, and I went with the Hipshot Contour just for something different. I don't even have the whammy bar in right now. I prefer the way a Hipshot bridge feels, but I wanted to be able to do some whammy bar stuff without having to mess with the locking nut. And not that there's anything wrong with a floating bridge, and I'll probably do that for my next build anyway, but just wanted something different. Hipshot locking tuners, and I'll do some stock photos or whatever, some extra photos thrown in here to give you a better look at everything. He did this cool custom Empire logo in resin for me, as well as a resin little emblem on the back for the initials for me, my wife, and my two boys. I provided the pickups, again, through our EMG endorsement. I went with an 81X and an SLV-X, which I was amazed at. Well, one, the 81X, because this was my first time trying them. And it's like everything I like about the 81, but much fuller sounding, a lot more frequencies available. The SLV, I was surprised how authentic to a single coil it sounded, but it was dead quiet. It's a little bit noticeably less output than the 81X, and it threw me off a little at first, but I quickly got used to it. And besides, for the playing I do, if I'm using the neck, I'm either doing some kind of very quick little clean part, very little cleans, or I'm doing a lead, which if I'm doing a lead, I usually have like a compressor or something on anyway, so it kind of makes up the difference on the output. Body is, can't really tell, but body is alder, and the neck is this really, really nice looking piece of roasted flame maple. And then we did a quilted maple veneer on the top here with this nice little faux binding. Again, that's just the quilted maple top coming through. He just, put a piece of tape when applying the burst. 3-way toggle, single volume knob, and most noticeably 27 frets, stainless extra jumbo, ebony board, and hip shot locking tuners, and this really, really sick headstock. I put Dunlop strap locks on here. In hindsight, I wish I would have asked for recessed Dunlop strap locks, but hey, there's always next time. Oh, and lumen lay side dots. I tried to remember as much as I could about this guitar. A lot of detail, but at the same time, this is a very simple and straightforward guitar. No BS to get in the way. I have it set up in drop B or C sharp standard. It's just the tonal range I'm comfortable with these days. Yeah, I absolutely love this guitar. The neck profile, I asked for the same radius as my Ibanez RG, which it is, but the shape is a little different. It's not quite as flat or thin. It's definitely thin. It's as thin as he can make it, given the truss rod style he uses. It's like a really thin Jackson neck. I don't know how else to describe it. It's definitely more rounded than an Ibanez, thinner than most Jacksons. So it's pretty unique. I've really grown to like it. At first, it threw me off. I basically just wanted a clone of my Ibanez, but I've actually grown to like this better. And a stained bone nut, just for fun. Yeah, can't think of too much else. I've had a pretty decent working relationship with Kyle for a while now, and I share this all the time. We talk frequently. We'll send pictures of just cool custom guitars that we found online, back and forth. Currently talking stages of the next build. No projected time on that yet. We're just kind of knocking ideas back and forth. But this is hands down my favorite guitar. This is sentimental. I would definitely consider being buried with this. That's what everyone says. But it still doesn't even, it still feels a little surreal that I have a custom instrument. I would highly recommend getting in with Kyle ASAP. He has anywhere between 15 to 20 builds going right now at the time of this recording. And it's just a single man operation. Kyle Moninger is the guy behind WKM. I'm trying to remember. I want to say he's out of Colorado, but I want to say that this build, which again I got in pretty early, once you got started on it, I want to say it didn't take more than, I don't know, around 4 months maybe, give or take. I can't quite remember, but and even at $1,500-$1,600, there are guitars off the shelf that you would buy that, may look pretty cool, but might not have the pickups that you want, or might have some cool specs, but there's always going to be some kind of compromise. I feel like when you're buying retail, at least for me, there's never anything that just checks every single box, but this absolutely does. And even at full price, I would still pick this over. How could you value something handmade, here in the US, spec'd out every detail you want for the same price as something that's hanging up on a shelf that everybody can go get. To me, there's no real comparison. But all right, enough of my yakking. I'll play a little bit and then head to the outro. So leave any comments down in the comment section, any questions. If you're looking for an instrument, highly consider WKM. I will leave Kyle's link down below, and I believe he has a PDF form to where you can kind of price out your guitar based off of specs. As I say, they start off pretty, I think even like starting off, they're very reasonable and come with all name brand hardware like Duncan and Hipshot, all the brands that you know. But yeah, thank you all for checking this out, and I will play you out now.